Hey Bachelor Universe, and welcome to a new installment of the Bachelor Universe podcast. So, the finale of Bachelor in Paradise occurred, and it's it. It's done. The show's over with. It was quick. Now, what did we learn? What did we see on the final episode of Bachelor in Paradise? Well, the show started off with a quick elimination, pretty much. Chris Harrison comes out, tells everyone that things are gonna change and that people will need to pick their real mate. If they don't, they get to leave immediately. So everyone on the island had to be, I keep on calling it an island, everyone in Paradise had to be honest with themselves in a relationship, and they had to break up rather quickly or move forward and really, hopefully, try to make it work outside of Paradise. The couples that we entered the show with were Michelle and Cody, Marcus and Lacey, of course, and you had some other couples that were kind of teetering on the verge of breaking up or staying together. You had Robert and Sarah, which seemed pretty legitimate coming into the episode. You had Jackie and Zach, which was a forced couple, I guess. And then, of course, Ashley and Graham. That one she had by a stranglehold. Poor Graham. That guy just had no chance from the start. She had him under wraps and he couldn't breathe. Might as well look at any other female. That wasn't going to happen as long as she was there. So that was another relationship that was put to the test. And Tassos and Christy, which had just met each other basically. So we kind of know how that would probably end up. Anyways, Chris makes the announcement, and then we just start seeing couples split. And the first one to go was actually Graham and Ashley. Finally, Graham got some sense in him. I mean, the guy's just been dragged along by Ashley for the longest time. Finally, he steps up to her, and with the help of Michelle, of course. And I'm thinking, why isn't Michelle dating Graham? I mean, she's so protective of him. She seems so into him and cares about him so much. I know they tried it before on Bachelor Pad. That is one guy she's clearly passionate about. So I don't know why this romance isn't given another chance. I don't know. Maybe just Graham isn't into Michelle. She's got a kooky side, so I can't blame him. But he does listen to Michelle's advice that Ashley is not in it for the right reasons, and Ashley, of course, oblivious to the fact, thinks that Michelle's gonna actually do her a favor and tell her how great she is to Graham. But she does the opposite, and Graham just had enough. Tells Ashley that he does not want to be with her anymore, and that is it. Ashley, of course, shocked, because she's oblivious, the only one oblivious in Paradise to that fact. And they split, so they go their separate ways. Ashley goes out shocked and crying, and Graham seemed to have some regret, but he was sure with his decision. Honestly, that was not a relationship that was going to last a minute outside of Paradise. So they leave first, which was a surprising start. We get to see about 20 seconds of Tassos and Christy, and that split happened really quick. I mean, really. Not only is Christy pretty much undateable for various reasons, but that just wasn't going to work. They just met each other, so at least they were honest, and they broke up. Zach and Jackie, as much as Zach wanted to stay and pursue things with Jackie, you could tell that she was kind of picking him by default, and that was the end of the run. Gone is Zach and Jackie. They go their separate ways, and that wasn't going to work either. I mean, they were kind of latched onto each other by default. Then the surprise was Robert and Sarah. Now, the remaining couples, which were Robert and Sarah, Cody and Michelle, as well as Marcus and Lacey, they got to go on overnights. There's a little bit of kick of The Bachelor show. You get an overnight in Paradise. So all of them accepted. Of course, Michelle was deliberating and debating it, but she ended up going with it at the end. And what had happened on the date between Sarah and Robert apparently wasn't to Sarah's liking. Didn't go her way. She had a lot of complaints, such as wondering if Robert has a penis, which I guess is a valid point. Clearly, she didn't get any of that. Sarah comes out by saying that Robert slept in his jeans next to her and knocked out right away after the doors closed. Now, if I'm Robert, either a guy is really polite and gentlemanlike and really wanted to take it slow, but why would you sleep in jeans still? Like, dude, come on. At least, what do you have, like Mickey Mouse boxers or something? Man, even that's not a reason. Clearly, Sarah wanted some action, and she didn't get any. Robert. What would possess a guy not to do anything for a girl that's throwing herself at him? Maybe the fact that she's throwing herself at him. Either way, nothing happens. Robert thinks everything's okay. Sarah doesn't. Sarah goes into panic mode, thinking that Robert's not into her, and this is where Sarah becomes annoying again, and that's why I had a problem with her throughout the show. She jumps to conclusions just so quick, and assumes things, and is just a pain in the you-know-what to deal with. I mean, obviously she doesn't have much confidence in herself, but when a guy shows interest in her, she finds ways to mess it up, and that's what she pretty much did. That was it for them. Robert didn't obviously become aware that she didn't have a good night. I wonder why. Mr. Levi's. Yeah, so that was the breakup of them. They went their separate ways, and I really think Sarah jumped to conclusions on that one. Just too fast, too quick. I mean, girl, keep the panties, on for now. You don't have to take them off that quick. I think I actually will side with Robert on this, because they both live in LA. They're about 10 minutes from each other, as they mentioned on the show. Why would they have to force things in paradise? When they're going to be seeing each other, they have the best possibility of staying together after a show, because they live next to each other. So why not take it slow, explore it in the real world, see how it goes, and then, you can have your overnights every night. But Sarah apparently is too horny for that, and that's the end of that. So they leave early on in the show, and then Michelle and Cody. Now, that overnight was going to be a deal breaker. Either it will make this relationship or not. According to Michelle, it definitely did. It had a lot to do with Cody's man parts. Yeah, Cody's junk sealed the deal. Imagine that. It wasn't the flexing. It wasn't the constant smiling. It wasn't the I love Michelle, I love this and this and this about you. It was Cody's penis, which apparently is something that Robert's lacking, according to Sarah. Wow, Michelle really has high standards, apparently, because that's what she judged him on ultimately, and he won. He won her affection. So she's suddenly in love with Cody after the overnight. Took her a century to finally decide that this guy's in it for the right reasons. But it worked, which is surprising. I did not expect that one to really come out the way it did. But they maintained together and stayed together, which is the most surprising couple, I guess, in Bachelor in Paradise. Who would have thought? Cody and Michelle. I don't know. It happened. Marcus and Lacey, I mean, really, is there a mystery to that? Of course they were going to stay together. They had their overnight. She finally said she loves him. Took a while. I mean, Marcus is really quick to do that to begin with. Took her a while, but that couple is legit. No questions about it. I can totally see them lasting after the show, which they obviously did. There's your next big Bachelor couple that comes out of this show. I think you will be seeing a wedding really soon for those two. And basically the show ends with a little twist, because they bring back some of the more famous Bachelor couples that stay together. Daz and her man, Jason and Molly. Oh, and of course, you had Sean and Catherine. They brought them back to, I guess, interview and grill these couples that stayed, Michelle and Cody and Lacey and Marcus. And grilling is what they did. So that happened. They questioned them about everything pretty much, and ultimately proved these relationships. Well, imagine if Sean says no to you, that you're not legitimate enough. That's a deal breaker, right? Yeah. Or Desiree, who picked the guy that she didn't even technically want. Yeah. But yeah, so the show ends with Marcus taking Lacey aside. I guess Marcus was too nervous to face all those couples, and sweating Marcus took her by the beachside, and Marcus proposes to Lacey, which was the big long time rumor since the show started, and it actually happened right on the show. So Marcus proposes in sweet fashion. I'm just wondering, where do you get that rock? Like, did he fish it out of an ocean, or did Chris Harrison go into the jungle, or Claire's raccoon ring or something? It's something to be debated, but where does Marcus come up with that ring? Apparently Paradise has good jewelry shops, and yeah, Lacey says yes, obviously, and that's how our season 1 of Bachelor in Paradise ends. Happy couple, a new couple. Marcus deserved it. Of all people, I think could have been the Bachelor. He would have made a pretty solid Bachelor. I think he deserved to find some. I think Andy was unfair with him and kind of played him along. But Marcus, in the end, ends up with Lacey, finally gets over Andy, and Lacey, who never got a chance in Juan Pablo's season, finally finds love and gets some exposure in the meantime. It's a good couple. It's a solid couple. Obviously, two good-looking people, and I think they're both genuine and really looking for the right things, and obviously they will be getting married soon, so watch out for that. Overall, I thought Bachelor in Paradise was a great success. Definitely better than Bachelor Pad and all these other shows, obviously, because they renewed Bachelor in Paradise already for summer of 2015, so we'll be seeing that coming back. But it was a success. They put in good people on the show. I think you had recognizable names people were aware of from the recent seasons of Juan Pablo and Andy. And I thought they brought people, actually good people on it, with a few exceptions. Of course, Jesse Kovacs, one of my favorites, and Chris Wachowski. You had to have two weird, idiotic villains, but rest of the cast seemed solid. Dylan and you had Marcus. They were all in it for the right reasons. Graham, solid people, and it was a good show. It was compelling enough. It had enough drama. You had Claire. That's one way to keep drama. But it was an overall success. So Bachelor in Paradise gets a 2 thumbs up for me. And next time we will be seeing any sort of Bachelor will be in January, when Chris the Farmer debuts as the Bachelor. Like I mentioned in previous podcasts, he's the right choice. I think it's going to be an interesting season. Chris Soules is coming to you in January, so look out for that. In the meantime, I will be providing updates regarding the castings and rumors are going on, which couple stayed, which broke up, who's getting married. I'll update you guys constantly on all those happenings. But for some hardcore Bachelor news, I'll be back in January, but make sure you stay tuned because I'll be sprinkling in every week with some sort of information. And of course, I will be posting on Juan Pablo and Nikki. Yep, they officially made their debut on Couples Therapy on VH1. And if you haven't seen that, that is a must. That guy, if you ever thought he was a jerk on The Bachelor, wait till you see Couples Therapy. He takes it to another level. The guy's just insane. Who would have thought Juan Pablo would create most chaos, especially in a house with former Jersey Shore members? Yeah, that's how bad it is. So make sure you check that out. I'll be posting a little review of Couples Therapy and Juan Pablo. I'm sure most of you are excited. It's okay. It's okay. I'm out for now. Make sure you keep on checking out Bachelor Universe for more articles, columns, podcasts, and news. See you guys.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.